Hey guys, I'm here with the legendary Jon Foster from Bronski Beat, who you may have seen our interview a few years ago, but we're back now chatting again. So it's great to have you on. This is for K-Rocks Media this time, and for my YouTube channel. So welcome, thanks for coming on, and yeah, good to see you again, John. How's it going? How's things?
Yeah, hi Matt. It's going good, thanks. Yeah, all is cool in London town.
Brilliant. And you've been in London a lot, haven't you, lately? I know you live down there, but you've been traveling around. It's yeah.
I'm always going into London. I mean, it really only takes me half an hour just to get into London. But I mean, once you're there, it's pretty tricky with all the traffic. You know, I go up to Camden. It could take me 2 hours to get there, when really it's an hour's trip. But you know, yeah. I was there yesterday, but it just took me an hour to get into the centre of London. It was pretty cool.
Great, yeah. I know it's very busy. Whenever I've headed up there, I'd never go by car, but it's a busy place. I'm out in Mexico now, as you know, but hopefully I'm heading back next year to see you and my family and everyone, and just have a bit of time back in England. So it'd be nice to be back in London. But yeah, I was wanting to go over some things today, just to talk about some music that has affected you, because obviously you've had a very great career, you know, and with Bronski Beat and doing so many great songs like Hit That Perfect Beat, Come On, and the whole Truthdare Doubledare album. But I was wanting to talk a bit about what your influences were, and some musicians and artists that kind of what really did it for you back in the day, what got you kind of singing in the first place, and all that kind of thing.
Well, like on my background as a child, my mum used to play records like Frank Sinatra. My dad would be listening to really old stuff, like, and probably nobody's going to know this name, but Busby Berkeley used to do a lot of films with the sets were incredible, and it would be a ton of girls, but they would all be dancing all at the same time, and they'd make patterns on the film, you know, with their bodies and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. But I mean, my dad was quite free and easy with his music, so I got a lot of diversion. I mean, he would play stuff from country stuff to maybe the Beatles, because my brother was 12 years older than me, and he was into the Beatles a lot. So I was very influenced by the Beatles. You know, and he was in a band, my brother. So I used to go to rehearsal, and I just thought, well, this is fantastic. I mean, that was my first introduction to stage music. Music was him doing covers of the Beatles and stuff. So I've got a box of tapes here, reel-to-reel tapes that have got me singing on it, and yeah, they're quite interesting. But that was when I was really young. So and then, you know, Frank Sinatra and the Schooners. Is it Schooners? So Mum used to play them a lot. So that kind of took me into a place where it's, I don't know, a bit stricter with music and how songs are sung. So like pronouncing words and everything. I mean, I just remember sort of picking it up that how he pronounced his words. I mean, it was very American, and I always thought that accent was a bit off, actually, when you're singing, because it's easy to sing in American. Anyway, so that was the very early years of that. I mean, I never really kind of got into music until I was about 15 or 16, really. And started my band. It may have been a bit earlier with me and my friend Jill. We would start a little band, and we'd go and play on the local green, and we were quite influenced by German industrial synth underground music, which was just,
Is Kraftwerk one of you?
well, I mean, it was, they was sort of starting around that era,
Yeah.
but I didn't really know Kraftwerk. But some of the other ones that I can't blooming remember now. But anyway, it was very abstract, and anything went. Actually, you could just do anything. But they had little tiny synthesizers, these people, and they used to make loops in tape. So you'd have a tape running around. So whatever you did on that would be like a sample. So I would copy that and do long loops,
Yeah.
going round on a reel to reel. You know, as long as you had the tape free flowing, you could do really a lot with that, and cut it up and just make the most bizarre, abstract kind of thing. Because I was never really into pop music. I was never one to sort of really go down that line. I mean, I used to buy records and stuff like that, and you know, from Sex Pistols to ABBA, really. You know, I mean, you know, the influence from mum and dad being so vast, it was like, you know. So that was my first kind of step into abstract music.
That's really interesting. It's good that you weren't just on the pop music route. You kind of had a wide variety of influences. And even the
Well, I always thought pop music was kind of a bit it was a bit boring, actually. I mean, apart from some of the bands like Pink Floyd, who I loved, and you know, there were people like Kate Bush and The Sweet. I used to like The Sweet, and I even quite liked Gary Glitter at the time. I went to see him a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. Not so good.
Oh God. Anyway, so it's all a mixture of everything, really. Quite a lot of
It's
stuff.
interesting going back to your singing there and how you paid attention to like your diction and stuff, and how most people sing in kind of an American accent. That's quite
Mm.
interesting because it's true. Even myself, I think I have a bit of a twang, and bands I like, obviously I like my metal, and there's a lot of them sing. Even the British ones have a bit of an American accent. Ozzy Osbourne, Rob Halford, they've both got a bit of sort of that, but a bit of accent as well, which kind of, but with you, I love that you've kind of, I always heard that kind of Londonish kind of voice in your singing, which I like. That's what kind of stood you out from the rest, really. You had this unique kind of British voice, and a bit melodic and really nice tones to your voice. And
That perfect feeling all over me. Big boy, hit that perfect big boy. Big boy, hit that perfect big boy. Big boy, hit that perfect big boy. Hit that perfect, hit that perfect, hit that perfect big boy. Come close to me. I want this to be that perfect feeling all over me.
yeah, that's quite
Yes.
interesting. So was that something you purposely stayed away from, going into that American sound in your voice, or?
It was a bit, but it was just a thing I had, because when you sing in an American, you use a different part of your voice, so it becomes less hard to, you know, it becomes easier to sing in American than it does in English.
Yeah.
But not that it's a problem. I mean, even sometimes I do sing in American, so it's just the vowels, really. That's all what that's about, the American vowels,
Very different.
rather than vowels.
Cleaner kind of sound, just a bit cleaner kind of.
That's right, yeah, much nasally.
Yeah, it is more nasally, it definitely is. It's funny actually, even with speaking, living out in Mexico, my wife and people who kind of work here with British tourists and things, they tell me they never understand the British like they do the Americans. They really understand the American accent, but as soon as they hear a British accent, it really throws them off, because it is quite a difference, more than we realize, I guess. You know, I've always thought Americans can't be that different the way they talk, but
Yeah.
someone who's, who doesn't speak English as a first language, language. It can be. You'd think British would be the one. It should be the one that's really clear, and but there's so many accents.
You'd think so, yeah, sure.
Accents, and the Americans are actually easier to understand, I think, for most people around the world. Interesting, something I didn't realize till I started living here, kind of thing. But
yeah, well, your accent will stand out there.
Yeah, people never know.
I'm sure they're frowning when they're listening to you.
Even if I'm trying to speak Spanish, it's like, they still don't know. They're still frowning at me. But it's Australian, I think, is what I've been called a few times. People sometimes think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. When I've been called Australian before.
Yeah, and I remember it in Only Fools and Horses, the Miami twice, when they went to Miami or something, and someone said, "Oh, you Australian?" And Del Boy was like, "No, I'm not Australian." Getting mad at everyone for thinking they were Australian. I think it's quite a common thing.
I didn't see it.
No, it's where they had a mafia boss or something. Del Boy had a mafia.
All right, okay.
It was quite a funny one.
I've only seen the odd episode. I never kind of followed it really.
No, I used to watch it. Funny enough, yeah. I as a kid, I used to get into that. I quite enjoyed it. But I remember your even Hit That Perfect Beat, your hit song with Bronski Beat.
That was on it as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, one of the episodes I did when they were in the cafe or something, Sid's Cafe or something. It was
yeah.
Background. That's pretty cool. That song.
EastEnders at the moment. It was on EastEnders as well, and they're all rechurning all the old. Not that I watch EastEnders, but people have told me they're redoing all the old stuff, like the 80s stuff. So.
Is that recent?
I'm just waiting to hear my thing so I can get some money.
That's great. Yeah, get it in the East.
Well, it's payday next week.
Yeah, that's it. Nice. That's good. So you're still getting money from that, are you? You still get some.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, and hopefully next year, if things work out, I'll be getting a bit more. But that's another story.
Yeah. Well, it's good. You're still able to make. So I imagine not everyone is in that position. Maybe depending on the contracts they signed back in the day and different things. Maybe sometimes.
Well, the thing is, I didn't sign a contract. That's the whole thing about that. I mean, it's quite a mixed up situation where I was only employed as Bronski Beat. I never got signed to London.
Really? So
yeah, I never did sign. I signed a publishing deal, but I never did sign to London, and and London doesn't exist anymore. So we'll see. I mean, I could get some money next year. I don't know. I have to wait and see, really.
I hope it's still. Yeah, I hope there's still some cool opportunities. And yeah, no, I look forward to anything. Yeah, anything coming. But it's thinking of when you started singing. Was that something? Did you feel like you were kind of born to sing, or were you going to go into an instrument maybe?
No, absolutely. I mean, I've played the violin. I used to play clarinet, I played saxophone, and then I dropped it all. I didn't want to do it anymore. So, and that's when I was quite young, actually, because I was in the school orchestra playing my clarinet. But I didn't like it. It was too hard work, and it was so... I'm a free person. I'm not into reading the music and just getting it. I mean, there's lots of ways that you can play an instrument, but when you're in an orchestra, you get a little bit. You can't express yourself much. You're in a group, aren't you? So it's not you. But Dad was on stage in amateur dramatics, and even at school I was singing. So it's kind of always been with me, really.
Yeah,
even in the infant school, I remember joining a little choir we had there, and I wasn't doing solos, but we used, things like like Christmas stuff, and at school. Yeah, just stuff like that, really.
it kind of got you introduced to it a bit, at least. I did the same, but I don't have any memory of it. You know, it's like I think, did that have an impact on me? I did some kind of choir thing, but it's not some vivid memory in my. So I don't know if that had anything to do with me singing. It's one of those things in school. You think about.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't last. It didn't last for long because as soon as I went up to like senior schools back in them days, I didn't want to do anything like that. So it completely changed going to that school. And it wasn't until I left then I started to get into making my own music with the tapes and anything I could find, because I couldn't buy a synthesizer. It was much too expensive. So I bought, in the end, actually, I bought a thing called a Wasp, which is like a touchpad, and it's yellow. It's got 2 oscillators on it, and it's a pretty mean piece of kit. I used to wear it inside my jacket because it was battery operated. I'd go on my motorbike and be playing my synthesizer at the at the lights and things, and because I've got it under my jacket, people are like, "What's that weird sound?" Things like, just crazy stuff.
Amazing.
On the synth. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I love that synth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. And I guess
they're really sought after now, those little Wasps. And that was I think that must have been about 300 quid or something, which was quite a lot in them days.
Yeah. And like you say, probably even more now. They're vintage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most of them are bringing them out on racks now.
Yeah. It's surprising how much things can be worth now. I had a phase of collecting Walkmans to sell on, and I think I got 80 quid for one that didn't even work once. It was didn't work. Some guy in Japan bought it and he sent me a picture fixing it up. I was like, well, I just picked it up in a charity shop, and they gave it to me for free because it didn't work. They said, oh, you can just have it, and I got 80 quid. That was probably my best investment, but I had a period of collecting them, and I quite liked them myself because it wasn't really my era, but having them, they are nice. The Walkman, the different Walkmans and stuff, and I can see why people like that vintage kind of stuff. And the synths, I guess the sounds are kind of unmatchable. Some of them, those old synth sounds are really nice. And obviously Steve was big on that, and Larry, they created some amazing sounds with their synth.
Yeah, Larry was on it all the time. I mean, he was never off his computer. He was the kind of I suppose he was like the chef really, because he'd be in the kitchen and making these sounds and making blocks of sounds and layering and editing. Steve really didn't have time to do that. Steve was much more of a performer and a writer really. But Larry was the brains really of the whole thing.
Really? So he's like the mastermind. He kind of come up with.
Yeah, he is. I mean, even though they collaborated, but really at the end of the day, Larry was the music man, and Steve was the getting the songs together as far as like the chords, etc.
Yeah, it's great when minds can all come together and kind of create something really unique. And
yeah. Well, they were even doing the music even before Jimmy joined their band. So it wasn't until my friend Jill Wisson, she encouraged Jimmy to go and join Steve and Larry, write some songs and do it from there, but he didn't want to be a part of it really.
He was kind of pushed into it almost, kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
That's really yeah. It's mad, and that changed his life. So that's from that.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it changed all our lives, really. I mean, I've done nothing else since. Well, I have done something. I've done something with my life.
Yeah, you have. You've done a lot. Yeah, I remember on the last interviews, a lot of things you've done. But it's funny how one change in your life can lead to the whole life change. It's that's kind of weird how the world and the universe, where it works, just one.
Yeah, bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
Isn't it? When you think about it, it's you don't know what could have
But
happened.
you can be lucky in life, you know. You can be really lucky, and I have been lucky. So, you know,
Yeah,
I've
that's
been
one.
very lucky, really.
Yeah, that's one thing I always think. Do you think a lot of these people who have become really successful, is it down to luck or is it down to kind of mindset or some kind of manifesting? Or
Well, I mean, really, it's got to be done. It's got to be talent comes first, above
yeah,
all. And you know, not that I'm super talented at singing.
yeah, yeah.
They could have got a better singer than me for sure. But it was just that I was available, and they didn't want to go through the auditioning, so they were stuck with me.
I'm sure it's more than that. You've got a really unique tone. You know, the first time I heard your voice, you know, I end up listening to your stuff with Bronski more than Jimmy's really, just because something in your voice I really love. I love
No,
Jimmy
that's
as
nice.
well, but because I love
That's
high notes, but your voice really stuck with me. You know,
Well, London didn't even like me. They didn't even want me. So you know, it's only. I mean, it's only through my manager that he really pushed
yeah, yeah,
to get me in front of the boys. You know,
sure.
because they thought they'd have no hope because I'd written songs with Stephen Larry prior to. Joining the band. I mean, I was always joining the band. I mean, I've known them since I was 17. So, yeah, as far as like London was concerned, I did these two songs, which was In My Dreams and called Back on Me, I think it was called, the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I mean, they just thought, oh, this isn't going to happen. But as soon as I wrote Hit That Perfect Beat, and Anthony pushing on them to say this will be a, you know, let it go, see what happens, and they couldn't believe it reaching number 3. So.
Oh, it's amazing. Sometimes they got to have some faith in, in what people.
Yeah, but they couldn't care less. They weren't interested. They weren't bothered really.
No, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange, but at least it got.
Yeah.
You know, that song has stuck with so many people. You know, even to today. You know, it's such a nostalgic song, and you know, the thing with that kind of music is timeless. It's kind of. Especially as synthesizers as well, they're almost futuristic in the first place, so it never really gets old. That kind of music.
That's right. Yeah.
That song particularly is just I think it's always going to be a feel good track, you know. And talking of In My Dreams, I think this call ends in like a few minutes, so I'm going to play a song at the end of it and then we'll call back. But I wanted to talk a bit about In My Dreams because it's a song I love, and I just wanted to touch on what do you remember about that song? Do you remember writing that song and what it was about, kind of thing?
It was the very, very first pop song I wrote with Larry and Steve.
Oh wow!
And I did it in a studio in Camden. It was only a small studio, but it was the first one I wrote, and it was about half of what it actually turned into. So like we had the chorus and a bit of the verse and a bit of this and a bit of that, but it never came together until we kind of went back into the studio and revisited it. But when I wrote In My Dreams, it was like I was with a huge successful band, regardless whether they're my friends or not. I'd come off the dole from Newcastle down to London, and I just felt like I was dreaming, because I was going around with the band and mixing with all what comes with being a pop star, I suppose. And I was there always with them, even when Jimmy was around, you know, always there. So it was like a dream. So that's sort of how it came about, really. I felt like I was living in a dream, you know.
In my dreams, can't sleep at night. No point in lying. No place to run, no place to hide. I would love to stay with me, close by your side, living in my dream. I would love to stay with me, right by your side, living in my dreams. I'm asking the questions that play on my mind. Memories to find, thinking about the friends I've left behind. I made the wrong move again and again. I sing the same blues again and again. I make the wrong moves again and again. I sing the same blues again and again. I would love to stay with me, close by your side, living in my dream. I would love to stay with me, close by your side, living in my dreams. No place to run, no place to hide, no place to go. With you on my mind, I keep searching. In my dreams, these tears won't dry. I keep searching. You know our love will never die. Again and again, I sing those old blues. Again and again, I make the wrong move. Again and again, I sing those old blues. Again and again, I would love to stay with me, close by your side, living in my dream. I would love to stay with me, right by your side, living in my dream. No place to run, no place to hide, no place to roam. With you on my mind, no place to run, no place to hide, no place to roam. With you on my mind.
So it was, even though the song's not quite like that, not quite that story, but it's kind of, that's how it kind of evolved, really.
Yeah, and you can hear parts of your story in it, and the music video kind of it represents you joining, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit, actually. Yeah, it is a bit sort of autobiographical. Actually, all the songs are a bit autobiographical, really.
Yeah, that's
Because I had not, I didn't go whinging on about, oh, I'm so broke and poorly and sad and everything, because that's not me. And, writing those songs was a big deal for me, because I just felt that this had to be, it had to be something. It just couldn't be about love, but it had to be something. And most of the songs are about something, really.
it sounded, they're all interesting songs. I think the whole album's got such a variation, and there's
It has, yeah.
Dr. John as well. That's where did that one come from? Do you remember?
Well, Dr. John was like, it was when AIDS started to appear in London, and people, like even acquaintances, were passing away. So that's Dr. John is really a mirror to myself. It was a mirror to me, thinking about the future and knowing what was going to happen. So like that's why I'm the doctor, and I'm looking in the mirror going, what can I do, Dr. John? What can I do? You know.
That's really fun.
Yeah, so I knew that I had it or I was going to get it. Well, no, I do believe then I kind of had got it, but anyway, it doesn't matter where I got it from. But that was that was in my dreams, really.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, Dr. John, I mean.
Dr. John, yeah, that's good to hear some more insight. That is interesting because Bronski Beat's always been about kind of talking about topics like that. Obviously, with Jimmy as well, all the music's kind of always been kind of gay activism and kind of talking about topics, you know, that are close to your heart kind of thing. So it's good. That's another one that's, you know, in that same kind of mindset, but also reflecting your life, which is really cool. And yeah, I'll play that one in a second. Actually, I'll play Dr. John. I think we got a couple of minutes, so yeah, you talk whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, when you're writing, you're just writing for yourself and what's happening at that moment in your little shell in the studio. Really, you're not kind of thinking, oh, you know, people are going to relate to this, so I'm going to write what, you know. I just wrote it from my heart, and as I say, very lucky that people have even gone through the motions of looking at themselves in the mirror with the album, you know, and finding something in there that's kind of relevant to their lives. Because I don't put myself on a pedestal. I mean, I'm not an ego runner at all.
Oh, no.
So, you know, I'm not like, yes, well, you know, understand it, you know.
Yeah, you've always been very down to earth with it, and yeah, that's what I love about you and your kind of approach to music. You've always been very real and things, and yeah. So we'll play a bit of Dr. John now. Enjoy, guys. This is Dr. John off the Truthdare Doubledare album. Some hearts.
Can love
Well, that works.
Right, I'm back now with Jon Foster. Metal.
Yeah, rock and roll, everyone.
Big heavy metal.
Metallica.
Right, well, to talk, I'm joining you from outer space now, and
Very cool.
to talk to you a bit about Metallica. Did you ever see the video of them dancing to Hit That Perfect Beat?
Beat that fucking meat, boy. Beat that fucking meat, boy. Beat your fucking feeling. That perfect feeling. I got that feeling. That perfect feeling. That perfect feeling.
I did. And there was a link, somebody had set up a link, so when you pressed on it, you went straight to Hit That Perfect Beat. Did you have that same experience?
I know that sometimes it automatically detects the song and you can find it like in the corner, so maybe...
Oh, right. Oh, it must just be me then.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've seen it lots of times. It pops up. Yeah, I know it introduced a lot of Metallica fans to that song as well, which is quite a unique thing.
Yeah, it's quite weird, isn't it?
What did you make of it? What did you think when you first saw it?
Well, I just thought, cool, what a brilliant song I've written.
Yeah.
You know, to have a band like that singing it.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, you know, over the years, it's there's been a lot of remixes. So I mean, a hell of a lot. Yeah. I've got a few that have my mate has done, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, there was a heavy metal band that did a cover of Hit That Perfect Beat.
I've seen that.
Have you seen it? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think who they are, but yeah, I don't know. They're not like a main known band, are they? But they're
No. I think they're German, actually.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I remember there was quite a video, quite a weird video or something. I remember.
Yeah.
Searching for some company. Feel the rhythm dance with me. Them beat boys losing out of place. Now they want the party pace.
Yeah. There's a few of them out there, which is good. It is good because you know people at the time, you know, these records hook on and catch people, don't they, forever and ever. When it was released in 86 or whatever, 86. You know, because and you're young. Those sort of that sort of music would stick with you. Like it stuck with me. Some music has stuck with me. I mean, especially things like Kraftwerk, who I'm going to go and see next year. They're coming to London. So, honestly, to get the tickets was mad. Anyway.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good one. I'm glad getting out and seeing these.
Over 150 quid.
It's mad, yeah.
We have got a box though.
That is pretty good.
It's like right opposite the stage, so
amazing. Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
I had a box for Alice Cooper once in Swansea. His assistant put me on the guest list because it was sold out. I texted his assistant, said, "I'm in Swansea. I've got a train to Swansea. I'd love to see the show." And he did put me in a box, like a VIP box, and I was with Alice's security guard who he'd had the past few days because he got a free ticket as well. So it's me and this, and he was a Johnny Depp lookalike. It was quite surreal. He's Johnny Depp lookalike, and he was a bodyguard or whatever, security guard for Alice the past few days. So that was just surreal. I was there in this box.
Oh, brilliant fun.
Yeah, it was good.
That's really good.
But it's funny though, actually, although it was good being in a box, I kind of miss being up front with someone like Alice. It was, you know, you want to see him there. I'd seen him up front in the past, and he looks at you in the eyes, and it's like it's a real experience, you know. But yeah, I missed that. That was the only thing. But then bands like Kraftwerk, it's a different kind of show. It'd be nice just to enjoy it, take it all in. You know? I
haven't seen them since 1977, so and that's when they were all there. I think there's only one of them left. I think it's Wolfgang or somebody. Yeah. So, but I've seen, you know, you see videos of it, and they did a tour in 3D. Really? So you wore glasses and you could see it, you know, in 3D. It must have been amazing. I didn't see it. But...
That sounds great. Yeah.
I mean, this time I had to join a group to get in on the early birds tickets, you know. And whether you got picked for it or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just sold out within a day or so.
What's your thoughts on the prices of tickets these days? Because I imagine it's probably a lot different to when you were touring and stuff.
Well, I think the Royal Festival Hall is just, it's a place where you're gonna pay money, because online I've seen people who pay 60 quid in Dusseldorf or something, or 90 quid, you know, and it's only hyped tickets here. I mean, I could have got tickets for 70 quid, but I'm right up. Have you ever been to the Royal Albert Hall? You're right up in the gods, you know, and it makes you feel a little bit sick because you're kind of looking down, and it's so high, the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't see anything because you're kind of an angle to the stage, you know. You don't.
Yeah, I've been.
Anyway, I could have done that.
I know the feeling. I went to one in London, but I don't think it was that one. But they had. I did it for Nirvana. She likes Harry Potter, and I got no interest in Harry Potter. But there was a stage show in London. I thought, you know, it'd be part.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You saw it, didn't you?
We had an awful view, though. We had a pole in front of us. And,
restricted view. Yeah. What a naff thing.
Yeah, we left like halfway through because it wasn't much of a show. It was very kind of boring. It wasn't as dramatic as I thought. Harry. It was all just a big chalkboard for most of it, and they were just talking and stuff. And yeah.
Right.
I said to Nirvana, "You're not here for long," you know, because she lives in Mexico. We both in Mexico now, but you know, she come to London. But I said, "You're not here for long, so you know, do you want to sit through this?" Because she wasn't enjoying it really, and I went. And yeah, it was. I don't know which venue that was. It was. I don't know. You probably know London better than me, but it was. Yeah, it was kind of in the middle.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't think, but that was my first London theatre experience, and yeah, it's weird being. We were really high as well. It's quite a.
Oh yeah, especially if you've got a pole in front of you as well. Yeah, I never buy those tickets. So yeah, I mean they're usually quite cheap. I mean, I thought it was like a show thing what they did.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit more. It was just it was just kind of there wasn't enough special effects or anything. It was kind of because with Harry Potter you kind of would need that, you know. Yeah, not much. I think there was one.
Naffo lot.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a coin in kind of just, you know, grab your money.
Good job you left.
Yeah,
I would have done.
Yeah. I think sometimes you got to weigh it up, haven't you? I did pay for these tickets, but do I want to sit if I'm not enjoying it? There's other things you can do in London. You know?
Yeah, I very rarely buy tickets to shows that I don't know. I mean, if they're cheap enough, I'd go, but...
Yeah, I think it was like 100 quid each, I think, but I thought I'd surprise the one.
Yeah, even with a post in front of you. I mean, they do take the piss a bit, you know, they really do. And people like Oasis, who are touring, their tickets are phenomenally expensive.
Yeah.
They're really, really expensive. And people like Taylor Swift as well. You know, people pay thousands of pounds to go and see.
I'll never understand the Taylor Swift kind of thing. I think it's all it's the way they present these people. I think a lot of the time, when you see someone's face enough, or they're coming up on the magazines and on the videos, you know, people fall for that. But it's kind of like, is anyone worth that kind of crazy money?
Yeah, but you know, it's all part of the thing. Though. You know, it's all part and parcel of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a funny one. But yeah,
to do with the music business anyway. You know.
Exactly, it is. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is it's all business. Doesn't matter what the genre is, or you know.
I mean, usually if you're on a shoot for the day, you know, you'd get there quite early, and probably you'd be hungover, like 8 o'clock early, like ridiculously early, just to get a frigging photograph, and it can be quite a laugh, actually. You know, if the person who's taking the shots and everything are, you know, you're in tune with them, you can really have a good laugh and, you know, go out to dinner with them afterwards and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I've
never. And the majority of the time they are usually sort of quite nice, really.
Yeah, I think certain photographers know how to get the best out of their subject as well. They kind of they make you laugh, or they make you kind of feel at ease, and it does bring out the best. I know there's some good rock photographers who I'm trying to think of their names, but there's one who's photographed in heavy metal. There's like one who's photographed every band over the years, and to this day he's still photographing them. And it's from the very start. You know, he's got pictures from the 70s up till now. It's crazy. The portfolio. I can't think of his name now. I know one of them's got Mark Wise, but there's another one who's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, some of them, I think some bands just really took a liking to them or whatever, and I guess their style as well. It's interesting how some photographers.
Well, that's been his life then, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It's every step of the way. He's
doing that. Yeah.
I wish I could remember his name, but it's he's quite a
not to worry.
I did see him actually at a festival once taking pictures. I think he goes to everything. I guess he's just kept in the loop, but he's behind the scenes shots and shots you wouldn't expect, you know. There's a funny story about a photographer I read actually. I can't remember who this one is either, but I think it's with Jon Jon and some other artist, and he snuck in without getting permission to be a photographer, and he bluffed his whole way to get to Elton John, and I think it was with Elton John and Madonna, and he brought some props, and like he brought a camera to give to Elton, and he was just pretending to take pictures of Madonna, and he managed to bluff his way to get these, and they're quite famous photos now, but it was just a complete bluff. He bluffed his way, and he brought like a squeezy toy or something stupid just to sort of give them some talking point. And that was a funny story I read, but he managed to get some
I recall the story. I don't know his name. I'm terrible with names, you know.
Yeah, I can't remember names. I can't remember his birthday's name, but it's not.
No, either. No, never been one for birthdays either.
I can't.
Just useless.
People hate it. My wife's always like, "Oh, you can't forget this and all the special events and that." That's just this. My brain don't work like that. I don't memorize that kind of stuff. Different kind of information, you know. I don't. I can remember.
I know it's weird, isn't it?
Faces or whatever, but little things like that. It's difficult, but I was gonna say we better play another song in a sec. So I was gonna hand it over to you. Is there any songs that spring to mind that you love that you'd like to play on K Rocks today?
Yes, we hoo-ha.
I put you on the spot here.
Yeah, you have actually. I just.
Any songs you like, really? I'll dig it out.
Just play one of the Aphex Twins.
I'll do that. Here we go. Enjoy,
that just
guys.
Popped into my head.
That's it. Enjoy, guys. Here we go. So there we go. You like that one then? Pulse Width, that one.
Yeah, any of that lot is good.
Yeah. So you listen to a lot of them. Is that one of your?
I mean, I do. I do not often, but I do put it on sometimes. I mean, usually at home, I'm playing ambient radio stuff. I just usually tune into an ambient radio station and just let it go rather than listening to.
You just like the sounds and stuff, nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't do music as such as like pop music anymore. I don't really.
No,
do. I mean, I do still play music and like. But as a rule, I don't usually do it because it just takes up so much time. Even though it's music and it's just a good little hobby, and it's just good that I can just sit here and play the keyboard. Don't have to record anything. Just play away with stuff.
That's really
cool. Right.
I'm glad you still do it. I've heard bits and pieces of what you're doing. It's like these days, and it's cool. You make some cool sounds, and obviously you do your. Is it Sonic Sound Club you do these days?
That's right. We do. A friend of mine called Elise Hennessy. She works with me, and we do an hour performance. Well, we only do a few songs, but we leave it up to them really, and them being people we've known for 5 years now, and they are in some way disabled, so they may have learning difficulties, or they may be internally so they can't move or anything, but we've got up a good little following, and that's all very private, you see, so we don't go online with that. No. So that's a little workshop we do with them, and we let them have their time so that they can play their bit of music, even if that's a button, by the way, even if they're on a keyboard, and they're just running there, because they have helpers there and what have you, they're nurses, and even if they're just playing along on a keyboard like that, they love it actually. And there's one particular guy called Stephen, and he plays the most amazing piano. He's just so good, but he's mute. He doesn't talk. He can talk, but he doesn't. He'd prefer not to talk. Anyway, it's very rewarding. We've won an award for it, and a UK award for our performances. So it's good. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, that must be really rewarding. Great to give people off.
Yes, it's good. It's good. It's exhausting, but it's all right.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of time. You spend a lot of time doing that. I know. You always tell me. Anytime I call you, you're doing that. You've got that in an hour or whatever. So yeah.
Well, I mean, we have had 5 weeks off, 6 weeks off. So I mean, we shouldn't be complaining, really.
Back into it now. Yeah. That's really nice. You do.
Yeah, Fridays was brilliant because we were back, and they were really happy to see us back, and it was lovely. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's really good work you do. That must be really rewarding.
Yeah, it's very good. Because we just sing our songs, and every week we own they're our own written songs. So it's not as if we're doing pop songs or anything like that. We can change how we sing them in all different melodies and harmonies, so it makes it interesting every time, because nothing's the same, no week is the same, so
it's kind of like improvise. There's nothing
absolutely. Yeah,
like an improvised jam. I did a bit of that myself with like open mic nights, and that is great fun when you can just get up and see just take the opportunities. That's
good.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I've done a couple of karaokes actually. Just mind you, where you don't care when you've had a few beers.
No, have you done any lately, or was that?
No, I haven't been out, and I don't drink alcohol anymore.
That's probably for the best. I know.
Oh man,
I've laid off it a lot now. I don't really drink much. I do the occasional one, but I had a phase of doing karaoke. But I'd love to do karaoke with you though. We'll have to arrange that.
No more.
You hit that perfect bit.
No, you were born in the wrong time.
I know. I've been told that before. I know. That's one of the things. I wish, yeah, because even my own music's very kind of old school. It's kind of, yeah, I kind of, yeah, I think the eighties would have been better for me. You know, would have
yeah. Mind you, a lot of people say that actually.
yeah,
Because nowadays I think, you know, there's kids are so starved of being creative, and you know, there's very rarely that they would form a band. I mean, there are plenty of bands around, but less and less. But when we were young, I mean, we didn't have the phones for a start, so we had to make up our own kind of entertainment, really. And it was either was going to the pub or getting out your head on drugs. So, you know, people didn't know how. People didn't want to invent, or they were scared. That was it. They were scared to sort of form a band or something. You know, just do anything.
I guess the opportunity was there though if they wanted to, and like you say now, I mean, what I hate now is that phones really have taken over. I mean, people get phones at such a young age now, and I'm glad I never had a phone till I was like probably later teens, you know. But yeah, some people I know have, you know, their kids have phones and they're only like, I don't know, 5, you know, or whatever, and then they're playing around.
Well, I mean, they will be affected by it.
100%. You know, I remember the times of just enjoying the days and enjoying life without it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It was a nice thing, you know. And my
Yeah,
dad
it was
always
good.
said it was back then. You'd call up your friend on the payphone or whatever and say, "Oh, I'll meet you at this time." You had to stick with the, you know, back in the eighties, I think, you know, you wouldn't be it wouldn't be like now you could text or you'd say, "Oh, I'll see you Saturday" or whatever, and you'd have to stick.
I mean, I remember in the late 70s, you had to queue outside a telephone box to get
Crazy,
to make a call
yeah.
in the pouring rain or something, you know.
Yeah, I know. A lot has changed. Even charities
lot.
now, charities all virtual. You know, it used to be you just put a few coins in the dog or whatever, the plastic dog thing, and now it's all signing up your credit cards. And you know,
Yeah, they want it for your life now, don't they?
they do. I know.
You pay us weekly for the rest of your life.
It's crazy, yeah, and they always try and increase it. I remember that Carl Pilkington was talking about that on an interview, saying he you know, he signed up for something and something about to give a woman heating, an old lady heating in her home, and he thought, oh, I'll do that. And then he said a month later or whatever, he got a thing through the post and she was on the beach or something. He said, oh, when they were, he didn't think they were sending her on holiday. He thought it was to the beach. But yeah, no, but it is crazy. It has got pretty mad. Yeah, everything's kind of quite full.
Yeah, well, we're being taken over. Well, I mean, that leads us on to AI, really, and
Definitely
the kind of musicians. It's sad there. For singers, it's a bit different, I think, because you cannot get emotion or feelings from an AI. That's one of the things that's a drawback with it. It's because it doesn't do things from its heart. It just, you know, so music's all about things coming from your heart. It doesn't matter, you know. I'm sure that there are business in the business, you know, that they will use AI, you know, to save money on getting rather than getting a musician in. But I think for singers and songwriters, I still think it's quite a way off. I hope it's a long way off anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think, like you say, I always say it's just soulless. There's no soul there. So it's like, how can you make something? And the whole point of music is to connect with something deeper inside you. And it's not going to do it when it's just automatically sort of made. And I mean, there's so many areas. Yeah, because I was watching a thing recently where businesses are definitely going to use AI because it speed up like processing information and stuff like that. But as for music, I always wondered, like, I don't know if is there going to actually be a time where people are happy to listen to an AI and they know it's not a person, because I know I couldn't. You know, you want to connect with a person or a band when you play them. You sort of think about their life or who they are, or, you know. And you know, I don't know if it would catch on in that way or not, where people will listen to it knowing it's completely computer generated, or you know, I don't know if that'll ever genuinely catch on, you know, because people are
Well, after a time, you get so used to it, and that you forget about that question in it, and it just becomes a way of life. So you're never quite sure whether it is or it isn't. And most of the time, it probably will be AI in the future.
that is true, and it infiltrates in ways you don't expect always, and
Yeah.
it could be in an advert.
I mean, every day I see stuff that I think, wow, is that really AI? You know, because like 2 weeks ago, you could tell that it was AI, but now you can like, wow, it's really difficult to tell.
Evolving fast. I know. I've seen some.
Really?
I had a video of a guy being sprayed by a skunk. Like he was walking up to a door and he was sprayed by a skunk, and he was like he led on the grass. And I didn't really pay that much attention, but I was flicking through the shorts and I thought that was real. And then the next day it come up again, the video, and I looked at it and it said made with AI, and I thought, oh bloody hell, even that,
Oh, right, yeah.
even that, something that just seemed like a real scenario. But
Yeah, yeah.
it makes me wonder as well how long it's been about, and you know, maybe it's been used for other things where we're told something's real and it's not, you know.
Oh, definitely. I think the next sort of hurdle is the AGI, which is another level. You know, it's the next step up, really.
It's just
So,
man trying to play God, I think, is you know,
well, we've always been doing that.
exactly.
That's always been the case, you know.
Yeah, I think computers were that in the first place, but now it's like the next level. They're trying to give it some kind of consciousness, and
Yeah.
it's very strange. It's,
But there will always be people on the periphery who will be, you know, the earthies and the people who want to get together and dance and festivals and stuff like that. There will always be that going on. So there will always be people who are on your level rather than, you know, it being so computerized, you know,
I agree.
and staying in one place, you know.
yeah, there's always going to be people who will be kind of, yeah, and depending how bad it goes. I was seeing a thing recently where, you know, something, I think it might have been AI's prediction of the future. Actually, it come up, someone asked AI what they think the prediction of the future, and they said there'd be two groups of people who embrace the AI and people who are living off grid. And kind of because there's even this, you know, they're bringing in this digital ID in England, and we don't know what that'll lead to, whether that'd be like, there's been talk of these 15-minute cities, maybe everyone will be staying in their city and not being able to leave in the future. And you know, and they say it's for global warming or whatever, but you know, that's the kind of disguise they put it under, but it's just another control measure, you know. I don't know how it will all link up, you know, but
Yeah, it's pretty scary, all that. I mean, it's very the new age, isn't it?
it is, yeah. But like you say, I think there'll always be those people who don't get on board with it, and
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there always has been, you know, but, you know, I think the festivals, they're getting more and more popular, so people want that kind of interaction, really.
yeah,
And just sort of leave. They get so. People are so bored with their phones and computers, and you know they want something earthy.
yeah.
I think that will. I think you're right. It will be like that, a sort of a left and right thing. But the ID thing is bonkers, really. I mean, they've got face recognition on your high street now.
Yeah, it's all
You
there.
know, they just, you know, they're clever.
They are. I mean, they've been doing it. I mean, since the lockdown, they were putting up. Melbourne had a smart city put up while we were all locked down. You know, that was their one priority, putting up a smart city. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
that was back then. And this is all going towards that. And it seems to be global. They want a global kind of same controlled state everywhere, though. You know, but
Well, that is now. I mean, they've got it. They've got it now, really.
We have, yeah. There's definitely a lot of stuff now. I think the digital IDs, it'll link in with probably no cash and things like that for the future, and it'll be all digital, no more cash, and then they can turn off your bank if they want. You know, if you don't if you don't agree.
Well, they can do that. As I say, they can do that now. I mean, if you're on the dole, you know, on Universal Credit, they can stop it now. You know, they can do anything, and they know when money's going in and money's going out. I mean, if you had thousands coming into your account, you're going to click. You know, the warnings are going to come up at HQ, and they're saying, "Well, where did you get all this money from?" You know.
Yeah. I heard they come back on that as well. And yeah, there was stories about that. I think a ton of Universal Credit was just stopped like last year or something. They've kind of even
brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. I don't think we're in a place where they want to help the people anymore. And it's there's always distractions, and obviously the digital ID thing that, you know, they put it under the thing of it's going to help with illegal immigration, which obviously it's nothing to do with that. You know, it's just there's a common thing: problem, reaction, solution. They give you the problem, then they create a reaction, and then the solution is whatever they wanted in the first place, you know. And it's always the way they always
absolutely
fear mongering, you know, a lot of
fear. That's right.
Even most adverts have always been based around fear and different things, you know, to kind of make you consume. And it's a crazy world. It's like you say, it's always been there. And
well, I mean, it will be with you for another 60 years, no doubt. But for me, it was I had enough of it myself.
I'm scared of that's why I'm out in Mexico, really, just to live a life where it's
that's it. Yeah, at least you're there.
It's a bit more chilled here, and kind of, although there's a lot of I mean, there's certain things. I think there is a lot of facial recognition here when you go to work here. Certain job, the hotel.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're watching. You know.
Yeah, they actually have to sign in with their faces. You know, which is.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of I think 5G and all that. That's everywhere here. I think in England it's not everywhere. So it's like, it's weird. There is even here. There's a lot of things happening, but it's a bit more. You feel a bit more free here, you know. But
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's all changing globally. There seems to be things happening. But it's a weird world.
But they're introducing a machine at customs now, where they take your fingerprints, they take your photo, and you have to scan your passport. So you know, you're being sort of you're being ID'd then, you know.
Collecting all your information,
absolutely, There's no getting away from it. I mean, if you want to travel, that's what will happen.
That's the problem, I mean, I'm coming to the UK next year, and I think even by then there's some new thing that might be coming in, which we've got to keep an eye on. Some kind of new visa or something. I don't know.
Tricky for you.
It's not a good time, like you say, to travel. It's going to be a limited travel, I think, for the future. It's I don't think they're going to want people flying about.
Yeah, it's all changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff. And I on that subject, I'll play a song I wrote years ago about this called "Wake Up." It was it's a bit like my background here. It was all quite weird. I had a silver face paint, but it's one of my synth pop songs. So I'll play that one as it's on topic. So enjoy. This is a Wake Up.
Excellent.
Reality is feeling rather different. I don't know if this world is real. I don't know what I feel, because nothing is real. The people with the power dragging us
right, guys, let's wake up. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, before we wrap this up, I just wanted to touch on the 40th anniversary of Hit That Perfect Beat, your iconic hit, which I love and so many others love. So yeah, is that next year, the 40th?
Well, it's in December, and fingers crossed. We hope for a re-release and it being mastered, so it will sound crystal clear. And there's hints of it happening, so I hope they will do that, and we'll have a jolly old time.
Yeah, have a good old celebration. Yeah, no, well, I look forward to seeing if anything comes of that. And yeah, it's such a great song. Like I say, I think you know, that song will live on. I always look on TikTok and things, and tons of videos for that one. You know, people doing videos to it still, and you know, it's still such a popular song. And yeah. Great. I'm so glad I found it when I was young. You know, my dad showed it to me one day, and it stuck with me ever since then when I was a kid. And yeah, it's great to know you. And yeah, I've enjoyed chatting with you. Thanks for having with me and everything.
See you later, Matt. Take care of yourself.
I'll play a bit of Mexico now, which you I'm in Mexico.
Pass the tacos, please.
Traveling across the ocean, forget about yesterday. Set my sights on the new horizon. Familiarity's out of sight. Dreaming of the woman that I'm about to meet. Love is the destination, but Mexico is the place for me. I'm in Mexico. See the palm trees. I'm in Mexico. Pass the tapas, please. Gracias. Buenas noches. Meet the girl of my dreams. Coco Bongo, let's do the tango. The more night, please. Found somewhere to be truly happy. Freedom in this paradise. Waiting for the love to find me, so we can be finally together. Whoa, together. I'm in Mexico to meet the girl
See you later.
Later.
Bye.
Right, adios, amigo. We pretend it's just ended the song, right? So, right.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, there we go. Pulse. I fucking don't know. Pulse width.
Pulse width.
Try this again, right? Right, there we go. I can't be serious now. Remember that. Right. Right, there we go. Right. There we go with a bit of pulse width.
Yeah, cool.